Hi guys, we're gonna have Sunday brunch with my chocolate waffles that are dairy-free, gluten-free, vegan, soy-free, and sugar-free. If you have my Change Made Easy cookbook, you can follow along. We're going to need a food processor and a waffle maker, and everything is just gonna be dumped into the food processor, and then we're going to put the batter in the waffle iron. You need some gluten-free oats, and what makes them gluten-free is they're not cross-contaminated at the processing plant. You're gonna grab your oats. These can be rolled oats, not quick oats and not steel cut oats, just rolled oats. And we're gonna start with 1.5 cups, put it in the food processor. Okay, to the food processor, I'm gonna dump in 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. And then this is 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed, which will act as our egg substitute. If you don't want to use flaxseed, you can use a chia egg, which is just chia seeds with some water, and it gels up a little bit. It works the same way. I'm not going to use the dates today because I'm just going to put maple syrup on it, so there's no point. And I'm going to not use the coconut oil in this recipe, so we'll see how they turn out. I've never not used it before, and I know that the American Heart Association has come out saying no one should ever add any saturated fat into their diet, and coconut oil is a saturated fat. And however, my sister has not had any change in her cholesterol since she has added coconut oil into her diet, but she eats pretty cleanly. It's never recommended if you have a high processed food diet and then you add another saturated fat like coconut oil. So it's not for everybody. So I'm just gonna omit it and see how they turn out. So we're gonna give it a zhuzh in the food processor before we add the milk and the liquid, the extract. So the oats are all crumbly and mixed in with the cocoa powder and the other stuff. So next we're going to add the almond milk, which is unsweetened, and I added the vanilla to the almond milk, so I'll dump it all in together. So you can do this 2 ways. You could just dump it all in and then turn on the food processor, or you could drizzle it in as it's running. It's up to you. It'll make the same end result. So here's our batter. It's pretty runny at this point. It's gonna set up a little bit as it sits out while you're washing the top of your food processor and waiting for the waffle iron to heat up. It'll be ready. So grab like a 1/4 cup scoop, and then you can just put that onto the waffle iron. You definitely need to oil it first, and I would use coconut oil in this case. So I'm gonna melt down some coconut oil, which actually in the summer, it's best to use coconut oil because it's melted for you already. And that's pretty solid in there. So I'll have to melt a little bit down and brush it around the waffle iron. And then we'll be ready to go. So my coconut oil is ready. It's melted down. I just put about a tablespoon in there. You can barely see it. And I need a brush, and I'm just going to brush it around my waffle iron so that it doesn't stick. So this will just add a little bit of oil. So while I'm waiting for my waffle iron to heat up, I would like to tell you about why have I gone gluten-free. I have something called non-celiac gluten sensitivity. In my opinion, it's absolutely more than a sensitivity. It caused some serious hormonal problems within my body, and my doctor said, your biopsy's good, hormones. I wasn't happy with that. So I looked into non-inflammatory diets. And I did the Whole30, and that really helped a lot of my symptoms I was having. But it wasn't until I did Dr. Farrow's Better Health Detox program where I really could pinpoint my culprit foods. And also when I removed gluten, a lot of other immediate changes happened within my body, such as no more fatigue. Gluten was a big drainer of all of my energy. Just terrible. I could barely function. Also, gluten makes my skin pretty itchy. You know, all of these things I had no idea would be related to food, and many doctors don't really know that yet either, but they're getting there. I've been there for years already. I know this, but they're getting there. So anyway, I have to avoid gluten for those reasons, and milk isn't really my friend. My 6-year-old can't have milk either, not because it's a lactose problem. I think he has the same problem I do, something about the protein in milk. I know I'm not the only one out there. I'm having these problems specific to my personal body. You're gonna have your own problems displayed in other ways. Why did I go sugar-free? Because of some serious joint pain I was having in my 20s. I'd have to wrap my knee at night because it ached. Since I've cut out sugar and significantly reduced it, I should say, I have not had any joint pain like that. Every once in a while I'll have this random pain in 2 of my toes. Well, it'll be like, maybe I had too much sugar. Okay, yay, the waffle iron is ready. So I am just going to add some coconut oil around so it doesn't stick. So I'm gonna start with a 1/4 cup scoop of batter and see if that's enough here. This is about a 1/2 cup. So while my waffles are cooking, I am going to make my blueberry topping, which is, I think it's called blueberry jam in my cookbook. So I'm just going to dump like a 1 pound bag completely into a pot and let it simmer. Basically, that's it. If you want to make it a little sweet, you could add, well, a little sweeter, I should say. It's already pretty sweet. Frozen blueberries tend to be sweeter. You could add a date after it's done cooking and then mix it up in the food processor. It'll sweeten it up. You could also add some nutrients and make it a little thicker like a jam with the chia seed that I recommend, and maybe a squirt of lemon juice. I'm just straight blueberries. That's it for me. Okay, yay, it just beeped. Let's see how they turned out. Ooh, looks good. That's good. It's not sticking, it's crispy. Ooh, look at that. Yes, no need for the added coconut oil. Good to know. To avoid any disasters with your waffle iron, you definitely want to make sure you oil it every time. I got 6 waffles out of my batch. All right, I topped mine off with my blueberries I just heated up and some banana slices. Have fun with the toppings. The best part is the maple syrup. Remember, it's not sweetened, so you just need a touch of maple syrup. And then here is your Sunday brunch. Restaurant quality, dairy-free, gluten-free, vegan, sugar-free, and soy-free. Enjoy!